So Pisces, your week beginning the 10th of November forecast sees Mercury, the planet of communication, newly in a retrograde, the last of the year. It's initially going to be passing through the part of your chart to do with goals and ambitions, perhaps to do with your professional involvements, and it might also be to do with your local activities where you have a voluntary role or perhaps provide some kind of leadership or support to other people. Now, Mercury is obviously about communication, but it can also be about precision. And in the sign of Sagittarius, it's not at its razor sharp best. It can be a little bit lax on checking details. So important to do that if you're doing a presentation, you're having an interview, you're writing out a job application, make sure it's all very precise, because you may find yourself at the heart of this week with Mercury combining with the thrust of Mars, which has recently moved into its most assertive part of its journey through the sky. That can see you wanting to be much more vocal about how you feel about things. So making sure the details are right is very, very important indeed. But on Tuesday, Pisces, your traditional ruler Jupiter, very much through its rulership as Sagittarius to do with luck and fortune, but to do with its rulership of your sign, aspiring to our spiritual potential, that goes into a retrograde in your fellow water sign of Cancer. For you, the fifth house is where you can showcase your enormous range of creative gifts, flair and talents, often a big part of Pisces people. And I feel the Mercury retrograde and the Jupiter retrograde together suggest, if you're not really enjoying it in terms of a job at the moment, or you feel your time isn't being targeted in a way that really works for you, I feel there is the potential for some change. And that change could see you wanting to break out of a situation which is not letting you express yourself properly. Perhaps it's not feeding your passion, your soul, but equally it could be a corporate environment which just feels a little bit stilted. So there's part of you at the moment that may want to embrace a bit of daring do and can be bolder in your approach, which is very exciting. So Mercury retrograde could be a reset, a recalibration. You can turn it to your advantage. Now, because there is also a quarter moon on Wednesday in the proud sign of Leo, squaring up to the sun in Scorpio, that's fixed energy. So it can create a little bit of stubbornness. But for you, 6th, 9th can see us, if we're having a conversation with someone, feel a bit conflicted about where we want freedom and where we feel we need to be dutiful. And often Pisces people can be dutiful to a fault. So it's going to be important that if someone asks you to do something and it doesn't feel right, that you do have the confidence to say no. But if you are discussing providing something to somebody, for example, if you're having a job interview, don't overpromise. Do keep it very realistic. But you know, despite Jupiter's retrograde, by the end of the week, the sun has moved forwards in your fellow water sign of Scorpio to link with Jupiter in one of astrology's most beautiful alliances, the trine. But they're both linking back to the steady eddy of the zodiac, Saturn, in your sign. Now, Saturn probably has asked a lot of questions of you over the last couple of years. Your energy may have been lower. You may have felt very inhibited at times. You may have not always felt you were equal to some of life's demands, and there may have been a sense of overwhelm. But what you do have is a tremendous ability to keep going around the things that are truly important to you. And I feel that you can demonstrate to people, as this week draws to a close, your uniqueness, which can flex. You are a mutable sign, can be very compassionate, but you do have a very different side to your nature, which actually can exist with the practicalities of life at times. But I feel you can get a nice balance between those in a way that may have been a bit elusive with Saturn going through your sign over the last couple of years. And actually something that's important to you can start to become much more within reach. But if you're not really feeling that you are reaching that point, it may be because the environment that you're existing in at the moment, particularly in terms of your connection to the world, is just not the right one for you. And if that's the case, I think over the next few weeks you could do some rethinking, but you can use that grand water trine at the end of this week, and Jupiter's retrograde and Mercury's retrograde, in a very constructive way to help you. Now, Jupiter is going retrograde in the part of your chart to do with romance. If you're wanting a relationship to come into your world, do not believe that in the 4 months of the retrograde that can't happen for you. I feel that what the heavens are saying to you at the present time is whatever you aspire to, you need to be the one who takes the steps to make it happen. So don't hang off, really get stuck in, take the initiative, and if need be, take the lead. So whether it's someone you're attracted to, or if a tie isn't working very well, try to bring into the open the issues that need to be discussed, because that more spiritual dimension of your nature, which can at times get overshadowed by your resentment if you feel people don't really appreciate just how much you put in, turn it around, be more outgoing and engage with whatever challenges there are, and you can really start to make true progress this week and gain some traction too. If you've yet to order your year 2026 personal horoscope, totally based on your unique birth data and 30% off, please see the link below for more.